Gave you all that information and you need to place me on hold, and I didn't tell you why I called. You just got all the people involved's information and not any of the report.
Right. I just wanted to place on hold to look at a few things. Is that okay?
What's your name?
Javier, so J-A-V as a Victor, I-E-R.
And you have an employee ID?
5020.
It's a bus leaving right now. Okay, and you want to place me on hold and haven't got any of my report information. You got to look up some things without talking to me about why I'm reporting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. I'll be back in 1 minute or as soon as I can.
Okay. They love blocking paths. I told you they don't like it when I incriminate my abuser. They panic and freak out at my shelters. Red flag, he's controlling them. So I got to leave because they're going crazy with me trying to report him. Strangers. Excuse me, ma'am. She's furious that I said excuse me. Like magic. Magic. I'm on hold with music. CPS doesn't play games with taking reports. The police department, family courts, no other environment I'm in plays games with taking reports of child abuse. They refuse to do it. And you go to jail multiple times, get tickets, all kind of violations for trying to keep your child safe, mentally as well as physically. I'm sorry?
Thank you for holding.
Did you
All right, so I just have to ask a few more questions and then we'll get to the reason for your call. Are there any special needs for anyone?
I don't imagine. I don't think so.
Okay. Does anyone need a language interpreter?
No. Well, I think it's abusive for the police department to take bribes and arrest me in front of my daughter at age 8 and scam any way they can possible with CPS and an army full of other parties to keep me away from her. The brief times that I've talked to her, she's had meltdowns and different things have occurred. When she had public meltdowns, a stepmother threatened to give her away to CPS, which I think is psychologically abusive. And the police department punished me as well as the stepmother by keeping us apart. They let me have a very minute access to her, like maybe 5 minutes, dropping off money and other things. And then they stopped that. A lot of times she did not look good. It looked like it was obvious neglect. But the police department and CPS repeatedly kept covering for it and punishing me for trying to keep my daughter safe. Then I reported to CPS before all this started that teachers were trying to set me up and people in the community and lied and slandered. And then CPS covered for it as well as the family court and altered their documents to keep me away from my child, which are felony charges. CPS repeatedly covers for it over and over again, year after year. So I think my daughter's about to be 14, 15, and they still have not got their acts together or charges.
Okay. When did you last see your child?
It's been an extended amount of time, but still CPS as well as no one else I come in contact with will address the felony charge of making false statements to CPS. And then the court altering documents. The last time I saw her is when she got hit. She told me someone hit her. And then the police department and CPS covered for that and altered documents to keep me from knowledge and deprive me of my records, to keep me of what happened.
A year ago,
I'm not,
a month ago?
April of 2022. So my daughter got hit and nobody would tell me who hit her, leaving me in a state of terror and panic. There's flashing bright lights in my face.
Okay, so where did they hit her?
She said that someone hit her with her glasses on and she had something in her eye and she freaked out and they sent her home after she realized something was in her eye. They won't tell me. She said that someone hit her. She was trying to cover for the person that did it. Then the police department and CPS covered for it too.
Did you speak to your child about it?
After she told me, told me that someone hit her, tried to reach out and tell me someone hit her through a text. She was punished and could no longer have communication with me for trying to reach out for help.
So your child child is the one that said that someone hit her?
Yes. But she said that someone hit her. She gave me a brief text and said someone hit her, and they hit her for something that she didn't even do.
Was it at school, at home? Where was it at?
She didn't say a lot about it. Then it was like she was reaching out for help, and I said, you need to let me know what's going on so I can get you help. And then the next day it changed. But CPS was supposed to be doing an investigation and cover for it in the police department. So they wanted to punish my daughter. I'm not able to communicate. You keep trying to cover for it like all other parties have in my environments. So to punish my child for reaching out, I'm not able. Why are you covering for this, sir? Why can't no one in my environment abide by the law? Am I able to make a report anywhere on this planet freely without someone trying to control it to tamper with evidence? Can I please speak freely? But I would like to speak freely about this critical information. You keep interrupting me. Can I please speak? And then you can ask questions. But I'm not able to speak. This is what the person that called to do investigation. It's a catch-22. If you won't let me speak, I can't report it. This is what the police department does and everyone else I'm involved that I'm surrounded by. So they punished her. You don't want me to tell you that she got punished by the police department and our government officials for reaching out for help? You have to cover for that?
Did she have any marks or injuries?
After I did the report, well, after she told me she got hit, they kept me from her to cover for it. So as punishment. I don't know. But I'm just not quite certain why no one is concerned about these wrecked up felonies. For CPS, whoever did the casework not doing the report, her mandatory reporting, and the police department and the family courts, the mandatory report not doing that is a crime. And making false statements to CPS is a crime that CPS won't investigate or anyone else on the planet for profit. But taking bribes is criminal too. I'm sorry?
Does your child have any special needs?
No, but I made like 30-something plus reports to you guys, and I got arrested for trying to get records, and then I tried to get records online, and it's been 2 years. And the police department keeps stalking and monitoring me and haven't had accountability for their wrecked up felonies and listing people around them in criminal activity like gangsters, and haven't had accountability for people trying to be gangsters with badges and guns. I thought that would be a threat to national security, but I keep getting arrested and handcuffed at the FBI or in other locations trying to report it.
Okay. All right. So, if you want to make a complaint about, give you a phone number to make a complaint about them, do you want this number?
Well, I don't understand. Are you depriving me of the right to report repeated crimes and psychological abuse my daughter had to endure? And are you repeatedly going to keep covering for these government officials? Because I made 20 reports that were ignored.
I just wanted to go ahead and provide you with this.
And then I started recording my calls, and then they were forced to pretend like they were doing an investigation when they really weren't. But these are stacked up felonies year after year, spoofing calls and haven't had any kind of accountability for federal charges repeatedly over and over again. Then making everything I do toxic, nobody cares, and sadistic in every report I'm doing. And then, in fact, tries to cover for whatever I'm trying to report. And haven't had accountability for that either.
Your child on the phone.
I'm sorry?
When did you last speak to your child on the phone?
Around the time she reported that she was hit, and then she told me that she couldn't talk to me anymore.
So has something happened more recently?
No, it happened in April. I've tried to make reports. I've tried to make multiple different reports, and they blacklisted me from all CPS locations and gave me criminal trespass. So I went to Arlington one, and then they arrested me there. Then while I was in jail on the false charges, left me in there with time served till I lost my apartment and car, and violated me in jail by putting me in maximum security. They said it was some kind of especially mentally ill tank, so they didn't get their charges.
Okay.
Then slandered me.
Okay, well, yeah, with this type of report, I'm not able to have it recommended for investigation. Did you have any other concern at the moment?
I think that you're a scammer, and it wasted a lot of time in your con and pretending like you're CPS, as it's done multiple different times. But you guys have not had accountability for your charges. I think it's pretty serious if all of my report that I'm making repeatedly is unaddressed year after year to conceal crimes, and you guys have yet to get your accountability in felonies. So I need to talk to your supervisor, because what you did was actually criminal. There's mandatory reporting, and you failed to do it as a CPS worker or whoever you claim to be. What you did, you just committed a crime when you refused to send it off to investigation. This is criminal. So I need to see what your scammer supervisor is saying. No, I need to talk to your scammer supervisor because you just committed a crime. There's mandatory reporting and you failed to do it as pretending like you're CPS. I'm not being heard.
Have a supervisor contact you.
So for child abuse, you can't immediately speak to a supervisor. You have to have the scammer put you on hold like they've done years.
No, I didn't say I'll place you on hold. I said I'll have a supervisor contact
They don't
you.
call me back. I would like to speak with your supervisor scammer now.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to.
You're not able to? You think the feds will be able to? Because you guys have gotten away with this a long time. I miss my child, and I don't think that your inability to abide by the law, my family should be punished by it. Continually. I think there needs to be accountability for anyone that chooses to rack up felonies and abuse their power to the degree of hacking a phone and having them talk to scammers that have defrauded them out of funds and then threaten their arrest for trying to report it to their providers. That makes me think that they do this to other people for a living and haven't got their charges for that either. Nonetheless, I'm just trying to incriminate you scammers because you've gotten away with this way too long. I'm sorry?
I'll go ahead and ask for a supervisor to contact you.
Yeah, because you're committing a crime right now. By you not referring it over for investigation, that's criminal. You have mandatory reporting, and you guys repeatedly don't do it to conceal the government's crimes. I'm trying to get down to the bottom of it for why you're doing that and why you haven't got your charges. This is my child that you refuse to investigate her abuse and you enforce it for profit. And you repeat, it's been repeatedly unaddressed years. Sure you will. I want the feds to contact you. But okay, let's see what your scammer supervisor has to say about your crime.
To participate in our survey, you will now be asked a few short questions about the call you just completed.